Historical ballparks bursting with memories of the past is what weaves the fabric of baseball. That fabric is also the promise of tomorrow. Baseball is a #1 draft pick living up to potential. It is a refugee who found his living with the national pastime. It is a son coming back to a place where his father starred. Baseball is now an international game for all ages. Today, we celebrate its future. Fenway Park in Boston, ESPN2 proudly presents the inaugural All-Star Futures Game. Team USA takes on the World Stars. Hi again, everyone. Dave Ryan welcoming you to Fenway Park on a beautiful day for baseball. We make history today. For the first time ever, we match up Team USA against the World Stars. All levels of pro ball are included. It's the top prospects from single A all the way to triple A. 7-inning game format was created by Major League general managers, all 30 of them, and the help of Baseball America magazine. We're joined by Ray Knight, Peter Gammons. Ray, we're talking Major League prospect here, maybe the #1 pitcher out there, left-hander Rick Ankiel going for St. Louis.
Yeah, Rick Ankiel is a guy that throws very hard. Left-hander, has a big hook. This is strikeout pitch led all of minor league baseball last year in strikeouts. Doing the same thing this year. Started in Arkansas at 19 years old, the youngest starter in AA. Has been promoted to AAA, still 3-1 there. Does not walk anybody, has great command, and pretty soon you're going to see him on a major league roster.
And they say he's compared to Sandy Koufax. Not bad comparison. Peter Gammons, we're talking the world team now. Tomokazu Ohka is a pitcher who, not too distant future, may be pitching for the Red Sox here at Fenway.
Oh, absolutely, Dave. Not only is he a great story in the terms of being 11-0 between AA and AAA, but he was actually a gift to the Red Sox. Ray Poitevin, the director of Asian Scouting and Development, has a long-time relationship with the Yokohama Bay Stars in terms of providing them scouting reports and getting them players to the United States. So 2 years ago, when Ohka told Yokohama that he'd like to play in the States, they called Poitevin and said, well, here's our gift. It took a year for the commissioner's office to believe them that he was a gift, but he's here. And I think you're right. I think in 3 or 4 weeks, because he has such command, he'll probably come up and go into the Red Sox bullpen.
And maybe a couple years, guys, down the road, the players in this game will be in the Major League All-Star Game, like we'll see our big leaguers here at Fenway Park on Tuesday. Coming up, we'll meet the starting lineups of each team. Team USA against the World Stars. Next from Fenway after this.
Now that Tara Lipinski is part of the Snapple family, she could be part of your family, too. With every 2,000 Snapple, get a life-size Tara of your own.
218.35 miles an hour in the...
Cheryl Ann.
She did it! She did it!
Marco! Marco! No talking, you two.
Offer ends now.
The best stuff is in here.
Women, sports, beer, gadgets, clothes. Maxim, the best thing to happen to men since women. Introducing Maxim, the new magazine for men who aren't afraid to be men and are proud of it. If you like to talk about sports, drink beer, and love beautiful women, if you want good-looking clothes you can afford and the best gadgets money can buy, if you're not looking to find your inner child or touch your feminine side, then Maxim is the men's magazine for you. Call now to order 1 year of Maxim for just $14.97. That's 57% off the cover price. Call now and our little black book, How to Do Everything Better, is yours free. Learn how to get out of a speeding ticket, how to make a perfect martini, how to snag the best seats at the playoffs, and lots more. Women, sports, beer, gadgets, fitness. If men think it, dream it, live it, or love it, we write about it in Maxim.
Call 1-800-406-6464 now for Maxim and your free How to Do Everything Better book.
Drive into Travelodge locations across North America and earn Travelodge miles on each stay for lots of great free stuff. And when you earn enough Travelodge miles this summer, you'll get a free automatic bonus gift of one of 3 classic Muppet videos. And be sure to catch the Muppets in this summer's wacky new comedy, Muppets from Space, at a theater near you. So call 1-800-578-7878 now and rack up Travelodge miles for great free stuff.
It's a picture-perfect day for baseball in Boston at Fenway Park, and we are getting set for the All-Star Futures Game. here at the Fins. We'll bring in now our fourth member of our multiple broadcast team here at Fenway Park. Alvaro Martin is standing by with the World Squad manager. Go ahead, Alvaro.
Yeah, we're honored to be joined by Luis Marichal, Hall of Famer and a manager of the World Team. 13 countries in your lineup. That must be impressive.
Yes, it is. It's unbelievable how baseball progresses in the whole world.
And you just told me that this is the golden age for Latins in baseball.
Yes, it is. I think we got better representation right now than we had a couple of years ago. And I think we're going to have some more in a couple of years.
Your coaches told me you had him working very, very hard late into the night. You really want to win.
Yes, I'm not a loser. I don't know anybody from this team, but yesterday we had a big meeting. And we got together, and I think we're going to do all right.
Thank you. Gentlemen.
Alvaro, thanks. A lot of competition going on between the two managers. Lou Brock is the skipper, as we'll meet in a few moments for the USA team. Rafael Falcao is going to be followed by Alfonso Soriano, Aribel Durazo, Jorge Toca, a player who's a good prospect with the New York Mets organization at AAA Norfolk right now. Aramis Ramirez, followed by Javier Cardona, Chin Feng Chen. Cesar King will catch for the world team. Alex Sanchez hits ninth and will play center field.
And on the mound, Rick Ankiel. Got a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. You see the tremendous record that he has in 17 starts, split between Arkansas and Memphis. He has a big curveball, a changeup, great command. Led all the minor leagues last year with strikeouts, 226. You see there 145 Ks in 100 innings. He can put you away.
Great start to this season. Just 19 years old from Fort Pierce, Florida. Rick Ankiel from the Memphis Redbirds, and the first pitch to Rafael Falcao from the Macon Braves of the South Atlantic League. He is an Atlanta Brave prospect, hitting .343, and he's hacking away, fouls it off.
He is regarded the way Andrew Jones was regarded 2 years ago. He's on 120 stolen base pace right now. A great middle infielder, and that's going to be open for them in shortstop in a couple of years.
He's just 18 years old, Peter. Very young prospect. Turns 19 August 24th. 5'10", 165-pounder from Loma de Cabrera in the Dominican Republic. And he's got the helmet cam on for this game. Several players have agreed to participate. And we'll show you the unique angle that represents out on the field. We talked to some of the players during batting practice, and they said it was a little bit heavy, but for the most part, not a big problem to wear it, and they're glad to help out.
The Braves have done a tremendous job in Latin America. They invest a great deal of money in international scouting, but this right now, this guy is the prize of their organization.
And Keel gets him swinging. Jammed him inside, and Falcao could do nothing with it. One down here in the first.
Well, they talked about looking like Sandy Koufax. That was a lot like the Steve Carlton slider there. Hard breaking ball starting on the middle of the plate, breaking down and in with tremendous rotation. Big loop in, and look how that ball just disappears down in there. Very tough pitch for a right-handed hitter to handle.
Next up, he faces Alfonso Soriano from the Norwich Navigators, AA Eastern League team of the Yankees. And we've got players of all levels, top prospects, not necessarily having the greatest seasons. You'll see some pitchers with sub-500 records, maybe some guys at the plate who aren't hitting .350 with 70 RBIs and 25 homers to this point of the year, but they are the top prospects of their particular level and team.
I know the people from Team USA told me in touring around watching all the minor leagues, they felt that Soriano is the best prospect in the minor leagues today.
That says a lot. There is Lou Brock. He is the skipper for Team USA. They have broken the bat. Ground ball shortstop. Kelly Transfeld's throw across the diamond to Nick Johnson. He's in time for the second out.
I like the way that the shortstop circles this ball here and gets in front of it. He could have backhanded, but he goes and circles the ball, gets in front of it, stays down, plants himself. He looks at the runner, which I don't like, takes a big crow hop, which is okay, but you're going to realize that when you get up a little higher in the leagues, AAA and big leagues, big league hitters, especially 1- and 2-hole hitters, going to beat that ball out.
Because he's been playing second base most of this year. He came up for a while when McLemore was hurt, but they plan to have him be the second baseman with Royce Clayton.
Aribel Durazo started the year with El Paso in AA, Texas League, then went right to the Tucson Sidewinders, AAA affiliate of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Hermosillo, Sonora, Mexico.
This is an amazing story. This guy went to Pima Community College in Arizona, kind of disappeared, played a little bit in the minor leagues in Mexico. Last year was his first full season. Was the Mexican League Rookie of the Year. Hit well over 300, and here he is now all the way in AAA in a hurry. As part of Roland Heeman's great connection in Mexico that brought him so many great players like George Orta over the years.
So Rick Ankiel trying to finish off the world team. We'll only see 1 inning per pitcher in this game. We've got a 7-inning format, and Durazo earns himself a base on balls here with 2 down in the first. And Keel is very close to being promoted to the major league level in the St. Louis Cardinals. Ray and Peter have talked about his tremendous numbers. A 3/4 delivery we'll see sometimes from Ankiel. Great control. Just 80 walks in his first 240 innings of pro ball. He faces Jorge Toca now from Norfolk AAA of the Mets. Shot right up the middle of a base hit. Durazo around second is going to test the arm of Patterson in center, and he's there. So runners are the corners with 2 down here in the first, and the world team is knocking on the door.
There's been a great deal of debate in St. Louis over whether or not to pick up Rick Ankiel. The feeling has been, and I know his agent Scott Boras has talked a lot to Walt Jocketty and Tony La Russa about, don't bring him up too early. He doesn't want to see him throw too many innings before he's 21 or 22 years old. And Scott always uses the example of Steve Avery, who at 20, 21, 22 was throwing 230, 250 innings and lost the life in his arm. Ray, can you see that?
Well, I think Steve Avery may be one of those rare people that didn't hurt his arm but lost his mechanics. And you know, you'll watch major league pitchers today. One pitch he'll throw 96, the next pitch 91, and the difference there is mechanics. And I think with Avery it was a lot mechanical, then it became mental. My feeling is that if a guy is strong enough mentally to pitch in the big leagues, once he gets there, they can protect him on a pitch count, like Randy Smith is doing with Weaver in, I should say Randy Smith and organization is doing with Weaver in Detroit. So this kid already, that's the first time I've seen him live, and I can already tell you, just by the location of his fastball in and out, although that last ball by Tokyo was up, he has as good a breaking ball as I've seen from any major league left-hander this year, and certainly you cannot think of more than 2 or 3 guys that can throw 94 miles an hour from the left side.
Just inside to Aramis Ramirez from the Nashville Sounds, AAA Pacific Coast League affiliate of the Pittsburgh Pirates. He is a third baseman for the world team here. And Keel has gone from the #1 high school prospect all the way to the #1 AAA prospect in just about a year's time. Bouncer toward third. Running a tough play. Across the diamond of Johnson in time. And that'll do it for the world team. They threaten but do not score. That'll probably always see from Rick Ankiel. Just pitching 1 inning in a 7-inning format from Boston, 1 away.
It takes a revolution to make a solution.
I was looking for a solution in the air and noise pollution. Yesterday she came around and said, let's start a revolution. I said, I don't want to go. I want to hang around at home. Let's go!
Now you can actually experience the joy of driving a Mercedes-Benz without experiencing the pain of driving out of the area. And you owe it all to your local Mercedes-Benz Center. Mission Imports Mercedes-Benz of Laguna Niguel. Avery Parkway West off the 5 freeway. Mission Imports, the Mercedes-Benz of Mercedes-Benz Centers.
I love John McEnroe. He's the best tennis player ever. I mean, I hated him, but I loved him. I mean, some people just hated him. I mean, Wimbledon hated him. The English hated him. The ball boys, they hated him. The other players hated him. Jimmy Connors, Bjorn Borg, he drove him nuts. See, he had control of you. He would have control of your mind. He'd win and win and win, and you'd hate him and hate him and hate him. You can say what you want to say about John McEnroe, but he was a genius.
You've got to call 1-800-CLASSIC to get ESPN Classic.
Welcome back, everyone. Jam-packed Fenway Park, the first ever All-Star Futures Game. Another member of our crew is Stuart Scott down below in the dugout with another Hall of Famer, Lou Brock.
Thanks a lot, Dave. Lou Brock, one of the best base stealers ever. Now you put the managerial hat on. When you look at this game, both dugouts really, especially the American team, you were telling me earlier that this is the future of baseball. You got some serious prospects here.
Yes, we do. In fact, you just saw them for the point of view of Fan Fest. We come out and we see everything that is grown by baseball and done by baseball. However, one thing that had never been shown in Fan Fest before has been how we make ball players. These are it.
In the first inning, you saw the pitcher, Rick Ankiel, 19 years old. He won't be 20 for another 8 days now. You and I were talking about the theory. Do you hold a pitcher back like that, or do you just go ahead and shut him up to the minors if he's ready?
Well, I think a kid like this, he's ready. He has been on his way, and everywhere he has gone and all the levels he performed well. There is no indication that he's going to crumble just because he gets to the big leagues. So I think in due time, in his due season, he'll be there, and he's going to be there to stay.
All right, Lou, we appreciate the time. Let's send it back upstairs, guys.
All right, Stuart, Lou Brock, thanks very much. Tomokazu Ohka, right-handed pitcher from Pawtucket, AAA International League affiliate of the Boston Red Sox, soon to be a Red Sox, as Peter Gammons talked about earlier in the show. He faces Corey Patterson, leadoff hitter and center fielder from Team USA.
Ohka's one of those very unusual pitchers who actually pitched in the major leagues in Japan for 2 years and then came over.
Ground out to Rafael Furcal, second baseman of the world side. Corey Patterson leads things off, followed by Adam Kennedy, Lance Berkman, Pat Burrell, the DH, and #1 draft pick overall to the University of Miami a year ago, having a great year at AA Reading this year. Nick Johnson at first base, Russell Branyan, home run threat from the Buffalo Bisons of the International League. D. Brown is next with Ben Petrick and Kelly Dransfeld, wrapping up the Team USA batting order. He hits ninth and will play short today.
We've talked already about Ohka, 23 years old, pitching for those Japanese ball clubs, Yokohama Bay Stars. He really has 6 pitches, is the report that I got on him. His best pitch is his curveball. But he has a 2-seam fastball, 4-seamer, a slider, then the good curveball, a changeup, and a split. But you'll see basically the 2 fastballs and the curveball primarily, 90, 91 miles an hour. And as Peter said, the experience of having pitched in what is real close to Major League Baseball over in Japan.
And Ray, 6 different pitches he featured. That's a lot of variety. This one lined by Kennedy in the left field corner. That's going to be extra bases for Adam Kennedy. He's got himself a stand-up double on the first base hit for Team USA here in the home first.
Well, Adam Kennedy has a type of stroke that's not going to get him in too much trouble. Led the nation in hitting 2 years in a row in college at Cal State Northridge. And there you see him just stroking the ball the opposite way, a little bit like Wade Boggs. Wade made a living hitting the ball that way. But you're not getting too much trouble when you're not afraid to hit the ball the opposite way.
No, he was a shortstop until this year, and of course the Cardinals moved him over to second. And he and Lance Berkman are both playing for Team USA in the Pan Am Games in 3 weeks in Winnipeg.
That tournament decides which of the Americas will USA and South America will head to the Olympics 2000 in Sydney. And the European Championships go on next week as well. A couple of players involved in this game will be playing over there. 2 of the 12 European sides will head to the Olympic Games. Probably the Netherlands and Italy, as have been tradition in the last few Olympics.
Lance Berkman was drafted as a first baseman in the first round in '97 by the Astros out of Rice University there in Houston, where he had a tremendous year, hitting 41 home runs, and he's been converted due to the presence of Bagwell to the outfield.
He's a terrific natural hitter, Ray. He can use the field, and he's developing the wooden bat power now. When I first saw him playing in the Cape League about 3 years ago, he hit 1 home run all summer, only had about 3 extra base hits, really struggled, but it was that learning process, and he's gotten better every year.
So Adam Kennedy takes his lead off of second base, trying to score the first run of our first ever Futures All-Star Game in Boston. Lance Berkman was undrafted out of high school and really blossomed at Rice University under Wayne Graham, a team that won its first ever College World Series game this year. And a nice little run to Omaha.
And you look at the Astros, I mean, they have great talent, but they're predominantly right-handed, and they also have to worry about their payroll. This is a guy that's going to be able to come in and play for a couple of years at $200,000 or $400,000 and give them left-handed power. One way or another, they're going to find a place to put him next year.
That's Berkman, MVP of the AAA World Series a year ago in Las Vegas. 3 homers in the 4th and deciding game of that series, and the best out of 5 against the Buffalo Bisons. 23 years old, out of Waco. His 3rd ever AAA game, Lance Berkman made quite an impact with the New Orleans efforts. 3 home runs. Something about him and the hat trick of homers. Ball out of the zone from Tomokazu Ohka.
Great too easy to punish.
Tremendous amount of talent in each dugout. Team USA and the world, first time ever displayed here in Boston. All levels of the minors, from single A all the way to the top level AAA baseball are here.
Dave, I think this is so important, and I've thought so for a long time. One of the problems with baseball is being able to focus on its future into the young audience. For years, they held old-timers games, which told people the game was better years ago. This kind of game tells people, hey, the athletes today are better or as good as they ever were, and it's going to get better. And I think it's a very important thing for their audience.
Again, Berkman fouls it back. And the players, Peter, a lot of enthusiasm talking to them at their team breakfast this morning at their team hotel and during batting practice. They were absolutely thrilled to be a part of the first ever game. First of all, getting to meet the players they'll someday be competing against at the big league level, perhaps here at Fenway Park in Boston, but also seeing the yard for the first time. A lot of them have never been to Boston before. Big thrill for them. Swung on a miss. So long at bat for Berkman. Fouls back several balls until he goes down hacking. And there are 2 down. Kennedy still at second base in scoring position. We talked about our helmet cam, and it is aboard Big Pat Burrell, the DH for Team USA. And a star of the Reading Phillies in Double-A. And Peter, just his 2nd year, the former Golden Spikes winner, best college player a year ago with Miami, has made quite an impact.
He's got great bat speed. The Phillies are going to have him start taking some fly balls in the outfield. The idea being, if he's ready next year, let's keep Rick Ankiel and his defense and put Burrell in left field and replace Ron Gant. If it works, it's really a great fit for them because Bronya is such an important player to the Phillies.
Ray, big numbers for a power hitter. 15 homers, just his 2nd year of pro ball. Looks like he's on the fast track.
Well, I know one thing. When he gets a good ball to hit, he knows what to do with it. I probably know more about this young player than anybody in the minor leagues. I've talked to a lot of scouts about him, and his name always comes up when you talk about power-hitting right-handed infielders. And he can really handle a fastball. He's learned to hit the breaking ball. He was a pull hitter early in college, pulled everything. Now he's learned to hit the ball the other way a little bit. Has a tendency sometimes to chase bad balls.
With the helmet cam, bouncer up the middle for Kyle. Play to his right, guns him down, and that'll do it for Team USA. They threaten getting Kennedy in a scoring position with his 1-out double, but do not score. Tomokazu Ohka, perhaps his next appearance here in Boston will be as a member of the Red Sox. He's a AAA Pawtucket right now. We'll have more coming up from Fenway Park right after these words. Stay with us.
Presenting the first USA PGA Tour Titanium MasterCard with a 3.9% APR for the first 6 months, then a low 9.99% thereafter. There's no annual fee, a credit limit from $5,000 to $100,000, and a free gift. How can you get all this? By calling 1-800-392-0150 now. Think what it could bring you. Greens fees, $116. Graphite shaft clubs, $877. Lunch at the turn, $13.50. Balls, tees, $36. Hole in one. And a witness, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's the First USA PGA Tour Titanium MasterCard. Call 1-800-392-0150 now and enjoy exceptional privileges and benefits. You could save hundreds of dollars by transferring your balances from higher interest rate credit cards. And you'll receive free a dozen Top Flight 3XL titanium golf balls with your first purchase or balance transfer. For a low 3.9% APR, a credit limit from $5,000 to $100,000, and no annual fee. Get the card that's a friend to golfers everywhere. Call 1-800-392-0150 and request the First USA PGA Tour or Senior PGA Tour Titanium MasterCard or the First USA Titanium MasterCard. The choice is yours, and so is this free gift. Call now.
You're watching the first ever Futures All-Star Game from Fenway Park in Boston. The USA against the world. It features top minor league prospects from all levels of pro ball. For the first time ever, the USA taking on the world team. Due to the length of our game, we now move forward to further action. Welcome back, everyone. Top of the third from Fenway Park in Boston. It's the All-Star Futures Game, first ever. Matching Team USA against the world team. And Alex Sanchez, center fielder for the world squad, will lead things off. In the third against Mark Mulder from the Vancouver Canadians, and first pitch, blast that foul on the right field line.
Alex Sanchez, close to the best everyday prospect the Devil Rays have right now. He came over from Cuba, like so many other refugees, but the comparisons I always get, he is Lance Johnson, which is made for that kind of turf. They have Randy Wynn, and he's really established himself, but you know, they really need two center fielders in that ballpark, right?
They do, and he knows how to put the bat on the ball. He doesn't strike out much. Has 34 stolen bases already this season, going back to 97. Stole 92 bases and then 66 last year. So he can put the bat on the ball, kind of slap type hitter, but once he gets on the base, you better watch out.
He's jammed here. Short right field, could be trouble, and a blue pit for Alex Sanchez to lead off the third inning for the world team. And got their second hit of the game. Both singles. Jorge took a single in the first inning off Rick Ankiel, the starter for Team USA.
Turns his back, makes a good try for this ball, but it's out there in no man's land, looking back over his shoulder like a receiver. But the ball's still going to fall out there a good 10 feet from him. It's one of those base hits. Now we're going to see what kind of move Muller has.
Adam Kennedy giving chase in short right field, couldn't come up with it. And Rafael Furcal, top of the order, second baseman for the world team. Struck out swinging against Ricky Ankiel in his first at bat. He's got that helmet cam on. 1-0 pitch on the way from Mark Mulder. Also jammed and unable to make the play. Transfell at short. Sanchez will cruise into second base, and the world team has got something brewing here in the third. And the ball gets away in the infield. Both runners will advance. Sanchez all the way around third, almost halfway to home plate. So some troubles for Team USA.
Nice job.
And now two ducks on the pond for the world squad. Two runners in scoring position.
Well, both of these hits on the handle, that fastball in off the plate, a cutter, breaks his bat from the helmet cam here. You're going to see the delivery. There's the ball going out there somewhere, but we know it went over the shortstop. And then the ball gets away as they bounce the ball to the cutoff man, runners on second and third, infield back.
Alfonso Soriano, shortstop for the world team, now up, grounded out to short in his first plate appearance of this game.
You know, of course, there's been a lot of talk. What are they going to do with Soriano? Because they have Derek Jeter. He's going up to AAA this week, and he's going to play shortstop, and D'Angelo Jimenez is going over to second base. But he's going to work a little bit at second, a little bit at third. But a lot of people think he's going to end up playing a little bit of left field next year, because that would give the Yankees some speed and a little, you know, just some aggressiveness, a different type of player in that lineup. After all, Tony Kubek did it when he was a rookie. He moved out and played left field and then moved back to shortstop.
Yeah, and also give them another option as a leadoff hitter in case Knobloch continues to struggle. And then eventually move him to second base for Chuck Knobloch.
And guys, Soriano has showed some consistency already this year. 2 long hit streaks of 11 and 16 games. We see Furcal and Sanchez aboard. Mulder's pitch took something off it, and Soriano way ahead of it.
Soriano had it figured out early, too. He left, went over to Japan, came back, made himself a free agent, and got paid $3.7 million by the Yankees, which is more than some teams' scouting budgets for signing players.
That's a good move, Peter, if you ask me. Not bad. This one ripped toward left by Soriano. Up into the screen. It's gone. A home run. Alfonso Soriano, a 3-run homer to left. And the World Team draws first blood of the first ever Futures All-Star Game from Fenway. 3-run shot. Wow. Well, Ray, one thing the scouts have said about Mulder, they're impressed with how he can bust the right-handers inside. That one he left out over the dish a bit.
Well, he tries to come in, and actually that ball is in, and he just clears his hips so well and stays above the baseball. A lot of hitters hit that ball foul.
Durazo next up gives that one a ride toward left. High off the green monster. And Irabil Durazo will have himself a double. That one smashed to left center. And once again, the World Team has got a runner in scoring position.
17.
Well, a lot of experience on this ball club. You mentioned Soriano leaving and going to Japan at 16, and Durazo playing in the Mexican League, and then Toka playing with the Cuban national team. So the 2, 3, and 4-hole hitters are not actually unseasoned players. They have played in competition, strong competition.
And Toka played a year in Japan as well. Tell you, I saw him early in spring training, and he was a lot heavier. He was kind of in an adjustment period. He's lost 20 to 30 pounds. There's some people in the Mets organization who really wonder about whether he's ever going to hit the good fastball. He's really probably 27, not 24. But I'll tell you, that kind of adjustment can be made, and he's in much better shape now. I think the bat speed's starting to come back right now. He's still a very interesting guy.
Earned a promotion to AAA Norfolk after a tremendous year with AA Binghamton. 75 games, 308, 20 homers, and 67 RBIs.
That's my baseball. I bought the defector set illegally in Cuba, and it does sort of show that his age isn't exactly what they say in the Mets media guide.
Now that could earn a pretty sum on the collectibles market, I'm sure. Wow,
I'm the first kid on my block to have the defector sets from Cuba.
Toka had 28 RBIs, hitting 347 in the month of June. He was just on fire. And now he tries to knock out Mark Mulder again, who's been hit around a bit here in the third. Toka would have been at the AA All-Star Game. We'll see on ESPN2 next week from Mobile, Alabama, but he can't play there because of his promotion to the AAA level. This one blasted to left, way back. Looking up is Brown. It is gone into the screen again here at Fenway. 2-run homer for Jorge Toka. The World Team is unloaded on Mulder from Team USA. It is a 5-0 game. Still no one out here in the third.
Big swing, a lot of loop in his swing, points his bat barrel. Look how far his bat barrel goes toward the pitcher. That looping swing is why they question him being able to get to the fastball. This was a breaking ball. It allows him to lag. And anytime I see somebody's bat barrel facing me, I wouldn't throw him a breaking ball. Those are the type of hitters that are able to delay that swing. Long way for the bat barrel to travel. And just in watching his approach, Peter, I would suspect him being able to get to the good fastball.
Well, Ramos Ramirez next up, third baseman for the World Team. Home runs, Alfonso Soriano, Jorge Toka deep here at Fenway for a 5-0 World Squad lead. Ripped down the third baseline. That's Brannion's throw. Across the diamond to Johnson in time, and finally, an out recorded by Mark Mulder.
And then he gets taken out.
They're waiting for that, right? We will have a pitching change in the middle of our inning. Again, we are just playing 7 innings here in Boston today.
Russell Branion, not only can he swing the bat, this is a pretty good play. One hard step, sets himself. One of the toughest plays is the backhand. That ball comes up, makes a really strong throw. Big 6'3" guy, 210 pounds. Looks like he can play a little bit to me.
And a much better athlete than a lot of people think. They think of him as kind of being a big, aloof, power hitter. But he's got nice balance with his feet, and he's got the good arm.
From the St. Petersburg Devil Rays.
Brand new pitcher in the game now from the Team USA squad. And Stuart Scott has got some spare time waiting with Rick Ankiel.
Hey guys, I'm with the Team USA starting pitcher Rick Ankiel, all of 19 years old. Now, I don't care about the 145 strikeouts this year. I don't care about you leading the minors in strikeouts last year. What was it like pitching on the hill at Fenway Park?
It was fun. I think maybe I was a little nervous, maybe a little tight, but it was great. I had a good time. There's so many people here. I think this is definitely the biggest crowd I've ever pitched in, so it was fun.
Is it tough, though? Just as you start to get going, you're pulled out. You guys have 10 pitchers in the rotation, so you got to give everybody like 2/3 an inning.
Yeah, definitely. It's something that I think all starters are not used to. You get one inning, and then you're like, all right, now you're ready to pitch, but it's too late. It's over. You kind of want to press rewind and do it again.
A lot of people are wondering if you are ready for the big leagues. Do you think if you got the call-up sometime this year, you'd be ready?
I don't know. I would try to be. I would give it my best, but I think that's something that I just, I can't really answer.
All right, man, I appreciate it. Hey, I want to tell you, happy birthday next Monday, the 19th.
Thank you very much.
You're not going to wish me happy birthday the same?
Happy birthday yourself. I was getting there, but, you cut me off.
All right, this guy was born on my 14th birthday, July 19th. Let's go back upstairs.
All right, Stuart, Ricky, thank you. Kind of puts it all in perspective. Ricky Ankiel is on the way to the major leagues, just a matter of when. And a brand new pitcher for Team USA as well now, as the world team lit up Mark Mulder. It is Matt White from the St. Petersburg Devil Rays, Florida League, Class A affiliate of the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Facing Javier Cardona, the designated hitter for the world team.
Well, this is ironic. Of course, now it is Kim and White both in the game technically at the same time for the second time in their lives as they oppose one another here in the consolation game of the 96 junior tournament.
Russell Branion able to put it away. Second out here in the 3rd inning, although the damage certainly has been done by the world side with a 5-0 lead.
I don't think anybody really has had more publicity than Matt White, coming out of high school, drafted by San Francisco in the 1st round, being declared a free agent, and then again signed by the Devil Rays as he was drafted. $10.2 million. You're talking about a man that can really get it up there. 95 to 98 mile an hour fastball. Some scouts doesn't think that he has deception of movement.
Ching Fen Chen, searing line drive towards center field. Patterson to his left, eases over and makes the catch. The world team strikes, and strikes big with 5 runs. Couple of home runs, one from Toka. 5-0 game.
Dear Scott's mom, as you know, Scott loves baseball and is really looking forward to the All-Star game. All of his favorite players on the field, there's no game like it. He was even wondering if he could have a few buddies over to watch. What do you think? Scott's friend, Mike Piazza.
Yes.
FogDog.com, your anytime, anywhere sports store. Fog Dog.
I'm a student, and I do a lot of research on the web. So what I wanted, what I really had to have, was a powerful desktop computer. Then someone told me about Dell. I got on the internet. Dell built a desktop Just for me. This direct way actually costs less. Okay, so I don't always use it for research. Cool.
Discover this Dell Dimension XPS with the next generation Intel Pentium 3 processor at 450 megahertz for $47 a month. With applications optimized for the Pentium 3 processor, you get smoother, cooler, more realistic 3D graphics. Add in great audio, video, and a big monitor, and you can get more lifelike games and a rich internet experience. System also includes 2 games, fast, easy internet setup, and 24-hour tech support. This Dimension with Intel Pentium 3 processor at 450 megahertz, just $47 a month. Monthly payment for other systems vary.
I'd be lost without it. No doubt.
Be direct, Dell.
5 runs, 4 hits for the world team in the top of the third, including 2 long home runs. Soriano and Toka going deep, and they've got a big lead heading into the bottom of the third. Another member of our broadcast team is Rich Eisen, who's downstairs with John Hart.
Well, thanks very much, David, with the general manager of the Cleveland Indians. As if you're not stacked enough, you got a guy named Russell Brandon in this game. Talk a little bit about him.
Well, Russell's an interesting young man. He's got great power. That's the, I think right now that's the tool that jumps out. He's hit a lot of homers throughout his career. He's having a big power year at AAA. He's making a lot of improvement defensively. Like a lot of young hitters, a lot of power hitters, he's struggling a little bit, finding his consistency. And right now, we're just going to keep him there, let him keep getting at bats, make some adjustments offensively. But he's got a chance to be real special. The ball sounds different when it comes off his bat.
What do you think of this type of game, the futures game, all the future players of baseball on the diamond at once getting their own spotlight?
Well, I think it's special. It's really long overdue. I think it's a good move by baseball. It's great for a general manager. I see a lot of guys here. We don't get a chance to get out and see these kids. You read your scouting reports, and now you can put, faces and bodies with the names you have. But I think it's great for the fans because these are going to be guys that are going to be very, very special players, and they're going to be a big part of, the future of this game.
Last quick question. Have the All-Star voters in Cleveland stopped voting?
Well, I'll tell you what, we've got great fans. I think if there's any more ballots out there, we're going to cast them. It's a special group of fans here in Cleveland, but some other people voted for our guys, too.
All right, John Hart, thanks very much. The game is Tuesday, by the way. Back up to the booth.
Richard, John, thanks. Tony Armas Jr., speaking of great prospects. From the Harrisburg Senators, AA Eastern League, Montreal Expos affiliate, facing Ben Petrick, the catcher for Team USA. They've fallen behind a 5-0 hole. And Peter, what a great story this is for Armas to come back here. His father, of course, played here and involved in a trade involving a pretty good pitcher with the Red Sox.
Absolutely. His father, Tony Armas, hit 44 home runs in this park and playing for the Red Sox, and was a great center fielder for them.
Ground ball toward third base. Martinez, easy play over to first.
But Jim Beattie, the Expo Center manager, thinks he's a 1 or 2 starter prospect. And the reason that the Red Sox were able to get Pedro Martinez is they had 2 of those guys, Carl Pavano and Armas, whom they'd gotten from the Yankees from Mike Stanley in August. But he was so highly thought of. When Texas didn't think they could sign Pudge Rodriguez earlier that year, Doug Melvin had the deal done. It was for Posada and Armas, and then Rodriguez came back in hours before they were going to announce the deal and said, okay, I'll sign for a little bit less money. But he is considered one of the game's really best number 1, number 2 pitching prospects.
Well, you can see why, Peter. He has that real loose arm. He has great poise, knows how to pitch, has a complement of the fastball in the low 90s with a curveball and working on a changeup, but nice loose motion. Seems to throw the ball effortlessly, 94 miles an hour right here. And look at his motion. Just nice and tight and compact, no rushing, and then his arm just fires through there, but totally in control, no jerk of the head. That is what everybody talks about, deceptive. Doesn't look like he's throwing, put a lot of effort in it, but the ball jumps up there at you 94 miles an hour.
And he's a baseball guy. He comes. I thought his father had the best base running instincts of any player I covered in 20 years here. And I mean, those instincts will translate over the years in his ability to set up hitters and put them away.
Facing Kelly Transfelt, starting shortstop from Team USA from Oklahoma City. AAA Pacific Coast League affiliate of the Texas Rangers, a 4th-round draft pick in '96 from Joliet, Illinois. Liner on the left field line and foul, not by much. Mike Brown is our left field umpire. Full crew from the ECAC. Call jumps here today in Boston.
Well, he stays back and then gets the breaking ball, hits it on the end of the bat, and those balls are just going to hook. That ball hooks about 20 feet and ends up foul.
Not by much. Dransfeld just missing an extra base opportunity. Saw some time up with a big club. The Texas Rangers replacing an injured Royce Clayton. And his first career Major League homer. May 16th against the Orioles. Goes the other way, a little inside out swing. He'll drop a single. Down the right field line, making a double. As Dransfeld's going to go for 2 and easily cruise into second base with a stand-up double. So finally, Team USA threatening a bit here in the home third.
Well, he stays with this ball nice after pulling the breaking ball, stays inside the baseball and drills that ball to right field. They talk about him being a very solid second baseman and playing a little bit of shortstop. Question is whether or not he's going to hit. I get excited anytime I see a young player hit the ball down the right field line or the left field line if he's a left-handed hitter, because it's something that is hard to learn to do, is wait on the ball and trust your hands.
The center fielder, Corey Patterson.
Now we'll face Corey Patterson, center fielder of Team USA. Just 19 years old, from Atlanta, Georgia, and he's got some pretty good athletic genes as well. His father played for the New York Giants and Detroit Lions in the NFL. Coach is telling us during batting practice, just listen to Corey Patterson take his hacks. And when you hear the ball go off the bat, you know that's a legitimate prospect. Got a great line drive type swing.
Well, he was the 3rd pick in the country a year ago behind Burrell and Mulder, and multi-talented outfielder. I mean, as the Cubs begin to have to rebuild, and they'll be doing so in the next couple of years, this is probably the best everyday prospect they have. You know, I think that they vision that he can break in with Sammy Sosa playing next to him in right field in about 2 or 3 years.
5-tool type guy, pretty good speed, 18 of 25 stolen bases. Here he pops it down the third base line. Nice little play by Aramis Martinez. A little backhand grab on the edge of the dugout. And he makes the play for the second out of the inning.
It's really tough to make these plays in your home park, much less when you're in a park that you've never played in. Very difficult here. You run out there and the field is, dugout is right there on field level. And one of those old parks that still has nothing but wood and not a whole lot of padding anywhere. Concrete dugout.
2 down in the third. Tony Armas Jr. from the Harrisburg Senators. Scouts compare him to Kevin Millwood. What a year he's having down in Atlanta. And an all-star in his own right. He'll be here in a couple days. Big leagues finish out their pre-break schedule. Kennedy, 3 years pro, but he went from single A all the way to triple A last year. Made a big jump. Good improvement. Lays off that pitch high and outside from Tony Armas Jr. Armas Jr. signed at 16 years old by the Yankees. The Yanks to the Red Sox and the Mike Stanley deal. Then, as Peter said, that Pedro Martinez, Carl Pavano swap, which has done pretty well for each team.
Well, it has. You know, you look at Montreal with all the talent they have, and Urbina in the bullpen, and Hermanson and Pavano, and a couple of the other young guys that they've had coming along. If they get either a stadium in Montreal or they go to either Charlotte or Virginia, you know, when they have some money, they have a chance to have an awfully good team. My guess is this guy will be in that rotation next year.
Kennedy slaps that foul. The third base dugout out of play.
Adam Kennedy does something that I really like to see in a hitter. And when I started working with my son hitting, it was watch his front foot, how he uses his front foot to keep his weight back and keep everything on his backside. He kind of strides and then pats his front foot, keeping his weight back. That allows him to use his hands. It keeps his body from floating forward. And it's something that I would recommend to young hitters. Not the back foot, the front foot. using it as a timing mechanism, making sure you get it on the ground before you start to try to swing. Some people lift that foot up and their body starts floating forward and it takes their hands with them. But nice little foot action here, keeping his weight back.
In-town foul. Kennedy has made the switch from shortstop to second base this year. Edgar Renteria is certainly firmly entrenched in St. Louis at shortstop. He's at AAA Memphis now. Compared to Warren Morris of the Pittsburgh Pirates, the former College World Series star who's made a nice little splash in Pittsburgh this year. Did he hold up? I don't think so. Adam Kennedy down swinging, and that'll do it for Team USA. They do threaten, but unable to come through. A 5-0 lead for the World Squad.
Get ready for ESPN's On the Edge, a guide to Southern California's most extreme sports. Brought to you by Chevy Truck. It's summer, and if you like biking and a little sun and breeze in your face, how about extreme cycling? Well, fasten your helmet. You never know what might happen when America's most daring cyclists launch into the air, performing an electrifying array of flips, aerial spins, and no-handed stunts some 30 feet above hard ground. This edition of On the Edge has been brought to you by the Chevy Suburban. Like a rock.
First, there was Chevy Suburban. Then came Lincoln, Lexus, Mercedes, and the others. And in the end, the one that started it all is still the one that tows the most, holds the most, and does the most. Chevy Suburban, like a rock.
Is it your dream to make it to the big leagues with all the long ball hitters? It's easier than it looks. Just enter the ESPN Long Ball Sweepstakes presented by Century 21, and you could score a trip for two to the 2000 All-Star Week. Tune into this year's All-Star Week and watch the Century 21 Home Run Derby tomorrow at 8 on ESPN. Then call or log on with the player who hits the longest home run. ESPN's Long Ball Sweepstakes. Enter to win.
Major League Baseball here at Fenway Park hosting the All-Star Futures Game today. But tomorrow night, baseball's premier sluggers take their shots at the Green Monster in the Century 21 Home Run Derby. Last year was Big Mac going deep. Ken Griffey Jr. won the title. Major League home run leader Jose Canseco, Sammy Sosa, this field as well. It's tomorrow, beginning with baseball tonight at 7:30, followed by the Century 21 Home Run Derby. Then don't miss Matt Damon, Kevin Costner, and a host of others in the All-Star Celebrity Hitting Challenge. It's tomorrow on ESPN. Another show we'll have with baseball tonight after that at midnight Eastern. Don't forget to tune in over on ESPN. Here it's a 5-0 world team lead thanks to a 5-run third inning. And the little unit, Peters, who caught the Space Needle on the mound now.
There's a lot of comparisons between him and Randy Johnson. Some people have been a little frustrated that he's been inconsistent with his velocity. He's been inconsistent with his release point. I saw Randy Johnson pitch at the same age in Palmer, Alaska when he was playing in the Alaskan League. And I'll tell you, this guy is much further ahead of where Johnson was. It takes a long time for a guy that big. He's going to end up, in my mind, throwing 96, 98 miles an hour. And, I just imagine him coming out of the stands in this ballpark in the daytime all the time.
Difficult to pick up, to say the least. Good off-speed delivery in the outside corner.
Well, there's sometimes that you're overly blessed. And here you have a man that has all this ability plus the size. With that big stride there, it looks like he's letting that ball go about 50 feet away. And I see right now, I've not ever seen him pitch before, but he's up with everything, and that's the same thing Randy Johnson did when he was early in his career. I saw him with the Expos early in Randy's career. Everything was up, and the pitch up is easier to see. When this man starts getting the ball down and throwing off-speed pitches.
Cesar King shot in the hole. Dransfeld cannot get a handle on it. And King will have himself an infield hit to lead off the fourth inning for the World team. Back in business.
There has been some talk that with Gilmesh already in the major leagues, great young pitcher out of Louisiana and starting for the Mariners, along with Garcia and Halama, the 3 rookies in a rotation, that if the Mariners think they have a chance to win the wild card as they move into Safeco Stadium, that they might trade Ryan Anderson to get a really good pitcher. My guess is, of all the players that might be out there as prospects to trade for veteran pitchers, he might be the #1 guy.
Yeah, I think that would be a big mistake. I don't think that with as much trouble as the Mariners have had.
King on the move. Little hit and run, kind of a cue ball shot. Strange spin picked up by Dransfeld on the move, and he tosses over to Nick Johnson for the out. So Sanchez retired, 1 down here in the 4th. King gets the 2nd.
Look right here as he delivers the ball a little bit, kind of 3/4 sidearm. Ball is hit back, and managers and coaches and general managers hate to see this. Talking about flaky. You can almost turn your glove around and catch that ball a little quicker than you put your left hand up there. And also a ball hit that easily is not going to get through the infield. But what I was going to say, Peter, is there's no way that I'd get rid of this kind of guy, because I mean, it's just like a Doc Gooden. You don't have them come along very often.
Short hop by Dransfeld. His throw is low, and Johnson trying to scoop it out, can't find the handle. So the World team once again threatening runners to the corners now, as Rafael Furcal is on via the error.
I agree, Ray. A left-handed pitching, especially in the American League, is so hard to find. I mean, you're looking at the Indians, the Red Sox, the Rangers. None of them have left-handed starting pitching.
Number 11.
Now, if you were to get someone like a Kurt Schilling for him, then hey, I mean, if this guy grows up to be Kurt Schilling, then that's one thing. But you're talking about one of the top 5 pitchers in the league if you trade this young guy. Just like when the Reds had Pat Zachary, who really was an outstanding young pitcher, and nobody wanted to give him up, but in order to get Tom Seaver, they had to part with him, and Zachary never went on to flourish the way that we thought he would in the Reds organization. They also give up Doug Flynn and Stevie Henderson and a guy named Danny Norman.
Runner on the move once again. They've got him hung up. Furcal in trouble between 1st and 2nd. Cesar King watching the action from 3rd. He'll stay there and go back to the bag. Good run-down play executed by the USA team, and there's 2 down now in the 4th.
Well, nice move there. He's going on the first move. He was stealing. It wasn't a double steal or anything. First baseman does a great job. His shortstop right there should have been much more aggressive there. He did not take the runner back like the second baseman does there. What you do, when you catch that ball, you catch it full tilt running, you drive that runner back to first base, then give it up one throw to the first baseman, and that runner at 3rd has no chance to do anything.
So Ryan Anderson, the hot prospect of the New Haven Ravens, AA Eastern League affiliate of the Mariners, is done. New pitcher for Team USA next.
To accomplish everything you need to do on the ground, often you have to spend time in the sky. Fortunately, what you do both places can help you get where you really want to go. Just get the Delta Sky Miles credit card from American Express, giving you American Express service on the ground and Delta Airlines service in the sky.
You can apply now, right over the phone. Just call 1-800-SKY-MILE.
With the Delta Sky Miles credit card, every dollar you spend gets you a Delta Sky Mile. And when you buy your Delta ticket with it, you gain even faster. You get 1.5 Sky Miles for every dollar you spend. Plus, when you apply now, you receive 5,000 bonus Sky Miles automatically with the card. And of course, you'll get American Express service worldwide.
Call 1-800-SKY-MILE and apply now. We can take all the information in just a few minutes.
Call today. The sooner you get the Delta Sky Miles credit card, the sooner you can get someplace you really want to go.
To unlock your body's potential, there is nothing better than Soloflex. All the standard strength training exercises, each one correct in form and balance. The original, still unequaled, Soloflex.
What sets some people apart, gives them the confidence to succeed on their own terms,
It's no secret, it's the Wall Street Journal. Now you can have that confidence delivered for 13 weeks at just $36.75, just 57 cents a day. That's a 25% savings off our regular rate, which makes now a great time to try this limited time offer.
Call now, 800-248-1300. That's 800-248-1300 for the Wall Street Journal.
The 13 countries combining to make up the world squad, hammering Team USA right now here at Fenway Park. First ever All-Star Futures Game. 5-0 world team has a lead. In the fourth inning, they face Kyle Peterson from the Louisville River Bats. The Milwaukee Brewers, top International League affiliate. Soriano greets him with a deep drive left center. Gone! Alfonso Soriano has done it again. Second home run of the game for the world team shortstop. This time a 2-run shot. And the world squad has a 7-0 lead. Wow, did he get into that one?
Well, that's what you look for when a guy comes out of bullpen's a fastball, and that's right down the middle, and he just didn't leave any of it there. Man.
I think those guys from Team USA might be right when they said he was the best player they saw in the minor leagues.
As Serrano celebrates with his teammates in the world team dugout, he revealed Durazo, first baseman for the world team, is next up against Kyle Peterson, former Stanford Cardinal star. He's a native of the Omaha, Nebraska area, got to appear in the College World Series as a senior with Stanford. Big thrill for him. Peters, you said he's on the very verge of being a Brewer.
Well, the Brewers are starting to shake down that pitching staff. There's a lot of question about how much longer Jim Abbott's going to stay with them, and they have to start getting ready for next year when they go into Miller Park, that beautiful new ballpark. He's obviously going to be in their rotation next year. The feeling is that they might bring him up for the last 2 months and get his feet wet and get him prepared, let him see Major League hitters, and then be ready to go in as their third, fourth starter next year.
Durazo had a double in that damaging third inning for the world team. Double M scored when Toka and Soriano hit homers. Alfonso Soriano, Double-A player, certainly making a vote here for MVP. He's done very well. Ground out down the inning, but the damage done. Our heroes, Alfonso Soriano, standing by with Alvaro Martin.
I'm joined by Alfonso Soriano, 2 for 3, 5 RBI. Alfonso, you're now practicing at second base for the Yankees affiliate in Double-A. Estás practicando en la segunda base ahora para el equipo de los Yankees, pero vas a jugar en Columbus.
Sí, pienso que voy a Columbus después del juego de estrella y estoy practicando en segunda, pero pienso que en Columbus voy a jugar, seguir jugando shortstop.
He thinks he's going to be playing shortstop for Columbus as he's going to be called up. We'll see what happens next because Derek Jeter, of course, is the shortstop of record at Yankee Stadium. We're going to take a break and come back to the Futures Game right here at Fenway Park in Boston.
Are you tired of scrubbing, scouring, and working your fingers to the bone? Then don't clean your kitchen or bathroom. Zap it. Zap has been used by professional contractors for the past 5 years and is now available to you. Zap is quick and easy to use. Just pour on Zap, let it set, and wipe it off. And in minutes, your surfaces are back like new. Unlike ordinary cleaners that only work on surface dirt, Zap actually penetrates stains to magically restore surfaces to their original new shine. So now you can zap rust from your porcelain sink or tub. Zap dull, dingy tile and grout and watch it look new again. Zap your fiberglass shower and see dirt and hard water stains disappear like magic.
Zap is so easy to use. You can pour it on. You don't have to rub and scrub like all the old-fashioned cleaners. You wipe it off. Everything is restored like new. It is beautiful.
Zap, with its fresh wintergreen scent, works on porcelain, chrome, fiberglass, tile and grout, rust, hard water stains. In fact, Zap is 100% guaranteed to remove any stain from these surfaces or your full money back.
I had a rust ring around my tub for many years, and no household product would remove it. I tried Zap, I put it on, wiped it off, and it looks like a brand new tub. It's truly a miracle, and I love it.
Professional strength Zap is so concentrated, it replaces over $50 worth of ordinary cleaners. But call now and get Zap Concentrated Restorer, plus a bottle of Zap Easy Spray Cleaner and 2 Zap pads, all for only $19.95. Order in the next 5 minutes and we'll include a 3rd bottle of Zap Cleaner absolutely free.
It restored my grout to bright white. It cleaned my tile, the bathroom surfaces. It lifted that soap scum off, cleaned the hard water stains, the rust, and the smell is fantastic.
So don't clean it, restore it with Zap. For rush delivery, call this toll-free number or send $19.95 plus shipping and handling to Zap. P.O. Box 2220, Agoura Hills, California, 91376. Remember, call now to receive your extra free bottle of Zap. Order now.
Love All-Star Weekend here at Fenway Park in Boston. Our Futures game. Many more activities along with FanFest downtown. And leads right into the home run hitting contest. Plenty more going on Monday, then the big game on Tuesday. Brand new pitcher on the mound for the World team is Chris Mears, right-handed pitcher from the Lancaster Jethawks, California League. That's A-ball with the Seattle Mariners. He is from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. 6'4", 180, 21 years old.
He's been a very good control guy, and the Mariners tend to rush their pitchers right on through there pretty fast. So he's a guy with a chance. If he can throw strikes, at least he won't drive Lou Piniella crazy.
Facing Lance Berkman here, the right fielder struck out in his first appearance. Right back at Mears, knocks it down and makes a play. Welcome to the game, son. There's a smile on his face, I'm sure, guys, because he made the out, right?
Yeah, because he's not hurt. This is a fastball that moves away from Berkman there and hits him, I think, right on his glove. He kind of turns his head, but it knocked it down, and he knew then that he had him out.
Precautionary measures. The trainers will check out Chris Mears, prospect of the Seattle Mariners. We've seen a couple here with Ryan Anderson a moment ago pitching for Team USA, and the skipper for the World squad. He's Aparicio, the Hall of Famer, out there as well. I'm sure the last thing he wants to do is come out his first ever appearance at Fenway Park, right?
Absolutely.
Peter, being in Boston here, what has it meant to the fans and baseball enthusiasts around New England to have the All-Star game here?
You know, I was a little bit surprised. When you were around here, fans tend to be very cynical, at least the vocal fans, the type of call talk shows. But I think what we found is just a tremendous enthusiasm, and they sort of brought out the love and tradition of the game in this area. There have been people that the biggest complaint at FanFest is the New Englanders stand up taking 4 or 5 hours, where in other cities people have gone through that thing in 1 hour.
There's Pat Burrell. First overall pick of the Phils last year. He was actually drafted the day Miami was eliminated from the College World Series in Omaha. Being on the field and watching Pat come off, he did not want to comment for us, didn't want to talk about it because his team had been knocked out. Now the draft, Major League Draft and College World Series don't coincide, which is taking a lot of pressure off the young players. Will grounded out to second in his first appearance back in the first. Soriano's throw across the diamond, plenty of time, and there's 2 down.
One thing that Pat's going to have to do is stay on the ball a little bit more. Watch his left leg as he opens up. He starts to swing. His left leg opens up. He ends up having to reach for the ball away. Totally off balance and full. So he's already committed. His angle's committed to left field, maybe that green monster, as Peter is so often seen with young hitters, right-handed hitters especially, makes you want to hit the ball hard and hit the ball that way. And there, obviously, he was thinking pull and got way out front.
Here's Nick Johnson. Rounded out right back to the pitcher in the second inning in his only appearance. Team USA in whitewash here, down by a touchdown. 7-0 with 2 down in the fourth. Johnson at Double-A Norwich.
Well, next to Soriano, he is considered the best prospect in the Yankee organization. A .512 on base. He's been hit 28 times. But he started to move off the plate a little bit. But he has great hitting instincts. He makes contact, drives the ball over the field. And the way the Yankees look at it, Tino Martinez has 1 more year on this contract. Then you wait and see what happens. But he and Soriano are supposedly untradeable.
After the year 2000, that's when Tino Martinez's contract is done with the Yanks. Johnson, the Yankees minor leaguer of the year in 1998.
Also, look how he does. Somebody's been working with these guys. Look how he sets on that front foot like Chipper Jones. Allows him to stay back.
For call on the move. Throw to Pickering is not going to be in time. Infield hit for Nick Johnson. Alvin Pickering, a defensive replacement here for the World team.
Really nice, just tapping on that front foot, floating, staying soft on the front side. Moving his backside through there a little quickly, but able him to bring his hands inside, work them to the ball. Pretty nice little play there. No chance if you don't set yourself and throw. You got to go ahead and set yourself and have something on that ball right there. You can't just flip it over there.
For call, nifty hands, though, to make that play at second. Big throw for Nick Johnson. He is on with 2 men out. And now Russell Branyan popped out to third in his first plate appearance, back in the second. He's the big home run hitter we talked about from Warner Robins, Georgia. 23 years old.
First baseman eases off, but they've got a 7-run lead.
Big swing from Branyan, who leads the International League in homers. Had 24 coming into the break. Talked about how streaky he has been. Had that miserable stretch earlier, but also can hit the ball high and far, like he does here. Deep to right field, back to the wall, and caught by Alex Sanchez in right center at the wall in front of the bullpen in deep right field. So Team USA does threaten with a deep drive from Russell Branyan. But they come up a little bit short, and the World team still holds on to an enormous 7-0 lead in Boston.
Enter the Cox Communications and MTV Road Rules Drive at Home sweepstakes, and you could drive home this hot new Ford Mustang. Where do you enter? One of the coolest places to shop this summer. Register to win only at Laguna Hills Mall now through July 11th. And don't miss the Lucky Ticket weekends, where you can instantly win cool prizes from MTV and Laguna Hills Mall. Did we drive too fast? Log on to OCNow.com for all the info.
Can I tell you?
Tell me what?
If your roommate commits suicide, you get an automatic 4.0 for the semester.
I thought that was just a myth.
How far would you go
I got a big surprise for you.
to make the grade?
Are you in or are you out?
Felicity's Kerry Russell.
Oh my God.
Screams Matthew Lillard.
It's not happening.
Dead Man's Curve.
Premieres July 14th. Who'll make the grade? On USA and Cox Cable.
Are you dead?
John McEnroe was the best tennis player ever. I mean, I hated him, but I loved him. I mean, some people just hated him. He had control of you. He'd win and win and win, and you'd hate him and hate him and hate him. He'd beat him every time.
You've got to call 1-800-CLASSIC to get ESPN Classic.
Thanks to 3 home runs, 2 from Alfonso Soriano, the World team has a 7-0 lead in the top of the 5th inning on USA. Join John Miller, Joe Morgan tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern time, when Sammy Sosa and the Cubs take on their Southside rivals, Frank Thomas and the White Sox, on this week's edition of Sunday Night Baseball. Tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern time over on ESPN. Your home of Major League Baseball now for 10 years. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com. Wholesale changes for each team, and Team USA especially.
Now, Kip Wells was the #1 pick of the White Sox last year out of Baylor. He's a 4-pitch guy, throws 92, 93. He's got a very good curveball. What the White Sox love about him is when he throws his slider, he always keeps it down in the zone. Doesn't tend to hang that slider and get himself in trouble. He's also got terrific makeup. Very smart guy.
Fouled straight back. Jorge Toca, part of the World team blitzing of Team USA. And there are other substitutions to talk about for Team USA. Vernon Wells will now play center here in the 5th inning of our 7-inning game. This one lit up right toward Wells. Center field, a line drive glove down for out #1 of the 5th. New third baseman as well is Michael Cuddyer. And at the other corner, Pat Burrell, who was the
Number
DH,
16,
switches with Nick Johnson.
the third
Now
baseman,
Pat Burrell from Double-A Reading.
Ramirez.
Philadelphia Phillies chain will play at first base, and Giuseppe Chiaramonte is the new catcher. One down here in the 5th.
Well, Ramos Ramirez is kind of a critical point in his career. He had been thought to be the third baseman of the future for the Pirates, but he really has struggled a little bit in terms of his conditioning, and they're now beginning to worry a little bit that maybe with all that talent that he may not be an everyday player. So this is a critical time for him. As the Pirates prepare 2 years down the line, they really think they're going to have a very, very good, strong, contending team. This is a critical year for him to prove to them, like Jose Guillen, that he can play every day.
Ramirez, couple of groundouts to third in the first and third innings. Fouls back.
Of course, when the Pirates signed Ed Sprague, they thought, well, that'll be a one-year deal, and then we'll move Ramirez in. Well, Sprague's on the All-Star team. And now they're beginning to wonder, well, you know, maybe Ramirez can go sit back in the minor leagues another year and prove something to us.
From Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic, taps that foul.
Well, Peter, you know, in the days not too far gone, we can say the old days, the good ball clubs and the great general managers made sure that their young players were not rushed. I think with the Pirates and their, you know, wholesale
shot toward Dransfeld short, and Pat Burrell has tested for the first time at first base, 2 down.
With their wholesale changes going back 5 or 6 years ago when Smiley and Van Slyke and Drabek and all those guys were sent out of there, there was a urgency for their young players to move along quickly. Ramirez just 21 years old. I don't think that there's any reason to rush him. I think that stay with Eddie Sprague and not worry about it until he develops.
Well, guys, another pitching change here in Boston. We'll have more of the Futures game next.
Presenting the first USA PGA Tour Titanium MasterCard. With a 3.9% APR for the first 6 months, then a low 9.99% thereafter. There's no annual fee, a credit limit from $5,000 to $100,000, and a free gift. How can you get all this? By calling 1-800-392-0150 now. Think what it could bring you. Greens fees, $116. Graphite shaft clubs, $877. Lunch at the turn, $13.50. Balls, tees, $36. Hole in one, and a witness, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's the first USA PGA Tour Titanium MasterCard. Call 1-800-392-0150 now and enjoy exceptional privileges and benefits. You could save hundreds of dollars by transferring your balances from higher interest rate credit cards. And you'll receive free a dozen Top Flight 3XL titanium golf balls with your first purchase or balance transfer. For a low 3.9% APR, a credit limit from $5,000 to $100,000, and no annual fee. Get the card that's a friend to golfers everywhere. Call 1-800-392-0150 and request the first USA PGA Tour or Senior PGA Tour Titanium MasterCard or the first USA Titanium MasterCard. The choice is yours, and so is this free gift. Call now.
Successful outing for Kip Wells, and now the World team with a 7-0 lead will face a new pitcher for Team USA, and quite a story involving Brad Penning.
No, absolutely. He was considered, along with John Patterson, pretty much untradeable from Arizona, but they kept blowing leads. They've lost 14 leads already this year, blown 14 saves. They had an absolutely wild game that they won on Thursday night, but it just drove them crazy. They blew a 5-2 lead, gave up a run in the 10th, came back, gave up another run in the 11th, finally scored 2 runs. After the game, they finally said, enough is enough. We've got to go make the deal. So they made the deal with Florida, and they ended up giving up Penny and Vladimir Nunez, and they just felt that they had to go and get a power reliever, a guy they could have for a while. But Penny's a guy in his typical Dave Dombrowski trade. Excellent deal for him. He got 2 really good arms. Nunez is a potential closer. And I talked to people who saw him pitch a couple of times, Penny, and they said what amazed them is he could hold that 94, 95 mile-an-hour fastball right on through 7, 8 innings, 110, 120 pitches. And Ray, that's very unusual today.
Very impressive. Scouts love this man. General managers love him. One of those people that you're going to hear about. There you see 91 mile an hour, but when he gets it heated up, he can get up there around 96, 97. Very intense guy, a guy that can really move to the front of your pitching staff and really become an ace for your ball club. Has a good curveball, above average changeup, and a guy that they did not want to depart with.
But you know, they had blown,
But they had, you're exactly right. And I talked to Buck Showalter in St. Louis Monday a week ago, and he talked about having to have a closer. And they've tried everywhere in the world to get one. Everybody wanted Travis Lee. And you're going to end up having to give away something. When people know that you're in a bind like they were in, you're going to give up something. They gave it 2 great young prospects for a guy that they hope that can help them get into the pennant chase.
Cardona sends it deep to center field, put away there by Wells. And that'll do it for the World team here in the visiting 5th. They still enjoy a 7-0 lead on Team USA.
Still trying to make the major leagues? Log on to MajorLeagueBaseball.com to reach the major leagues every day. Video highlights on demand, live game audio. Make the moves in MLB's official online fantasy game. Grab the latest All-Star game gear at the official store. MajorLeagueBaseball.com lets you be a part of the major leagues, and it may even help your game.
If you're ready to lose weight, muscle up, and get back into shape, I've got a free video you're gonna love.
Introducing a winning fitness strategy.
You gotta eat healthy, drink plenty of water, and most importantly, strength train with Bowflex.
Strength training adds muscle. Not only does your shape look better, you actually increase your metabolism, so you end up burning more calories.
Strength training these days isn't just for men. It's great for women, too. And Bowflex is designed for both. It's even been called the best home gym by Fitness Magazine.
Use as little as 5 pounds to more than 400 pounds of resistance. Follow our 6-week fast fat loss program or create your own from over 60 different health club quality exercises.
Bowflex is easy to own, and it fits in any room in your house. It comes with a 6-week guarantee on results, and you can finance it with no money down and payments as low as $33 per month. Hey, I'm 41, and I'm in the best shape of my life. And I can tell you, Bowflex really does work.
For a free video and brochure on the machine that can help you get into great shape at any age, call right now.
50 of the best prospects in baseball. 25-man rosters each for the World and USA teams. And right now it's all in the World side. Young fans at Fenway enjoying seeing the prospects on the verge of superstardom. One here is Huáscar Serrano from Rancho Cucamonga, the Quakes, the California League A-ball. Affiliate of the San Diego Padres. A right-hander from the Dominican Republic is 21 years old.
Well, they expect he'll be there when they get that ballpark in 2002. Very live, athletic body, hard thrower, and great athlete. He's very quick on the mound.
Joffrey Tomlinson, the new left fielder for the World team, puts that D. Brown fly ball left away. First out of the 5th inning. And a brand new catcher as well in the lineup.
Number 22, the catcher, Giuseppe.
Been hot will catch now for the World team, so plenty of substitutes for each side. I talked to the managers Lou Brock and Luis Aparicio at the team breakfast today. They had the goal of getting everybody in the game, with the exception of a couple pitchers who recently threw and may not be available. Major League general managers, all 30, had a big role in deciding the rosters along with Baseball America magazine. The GMs, Peter, wanted to make sure 1 inning was the max per pitcher.
Well, absolutely. For an exhibition game like this, you don't want to take any chance on doing any damage. And, of course, Aaron Mayette, for instance, from the White Sox, pitched on Friday, so it's unlikely that he would come in for any more than a batter or two here.
Giuseppe Chiaramonte is the batter. First appearance for him in this game. From the Shreveport Captains, AA Texas League affiliate of the San Francisco Giants. He's 23 years old from Santa Cruz, California. 5th round pick in '97. Blast that down the left field line, but foul. Chiaramonte had a good career at Fresno State. Set a school record 26 homers back in '97 to go along with a .341 average. All year of A-ball at San Jose last year with 22 homers, so he's got some pop.
Look at Serrano, how he drops down here and looks like he's coming sidearm, but actually that's the way he turns his body and the ball comes out 3/4. The ball really runs in. He will actually drop down a little lower than that, uses 2 or 3 different angles.
Chiaramonte works out a walk. Second we've had in this game. And the first earned by Team USA. They need a lot of help down by 7 here in the 5th.
Number 23, the shortstop, Kelly Dransfeld.
Dransfeld next up to take on Huáscar Serrano. He's one of 5 right-handers who have not missed a start in the first 66 games of the year for the Quakes from Rancho Cucamonga. Pretty deep staff out there.
Watch how tough this is for a right-handed hitter. With the arm angle coming from behind the plate, he turns his left arm in, and you just don't see the ball very well. His problem is his mechanics change almost every delivery. He throws one pitch 89, 191. He can get it up to 95, 96. And that's just mechanics. That does not have anything to do with trying to throw the ball hard. It's just mechanics. That's a nasty slider. I heard that he had a really hard biting slider. We didn't get much of a chance to look at it there when he bounced it 2 feet wide of the plate. But
well, one thing about him, Ray, is he's been kind of caught in between. He's got that hard slider and he's got kind of a slurved slider. They're trying to, Darryl Ackerfeld's the pitching coach at Rancho Cucamonga, been trying to get him to stick with that hard, tight slider, the one you like.
Yeah, well, I like it because the hitter's going to think it's a fastball, and especially with the way his arm angle is, it makes you want to bell as a hitter, and it's very difficult to stay on that baseball.
Chiaramonte takes his lead off first. Dransfeld, a little bouncer toward third. They'll try to turn 2 and get just 1. Fielder's choice bounce out for Kelly Dransfeld. 2 down here in the 5th. Team USA still in trouble.
Number 10, from the Knoxville Smokies, the center fielder, Vernon Wells.
First at bat now for Vernon Wells from Knoxville, AA of the Toronto Blue Jays. Also seen some time in Dunedin and single A ball. Jays affiliate as well, having an excellent season. 12 dingers, 48 knocked in.
He's had a very rapid climb through the minor leagues. I mean, 20 years old, to be able to jump into the Florida State League the way he has, which is a tough pitcher's league. Toronto has had a terrific record of drafting the last 5 years under Tim Wilkin, their scouting director. He took some criticism for drafting Wells way up in the first round. He went out and hit 300 in the New York Penn League as a high school player. I think Wilkin was absolutely on the mark. But you get power hitting right-handed center middle outfielders. That's pretty tough to find.
Whips it foul on the third base line. 6'1", 195-pounder from Shreveport, Louisiana. His father also an NFL product, played with the KC Chiefs. A couple players in this game have some NFL lineage. These young guys take it in the moment. That was a lot to them.
That was his teammate Joe Lawrence, and he's been doing the camera work all day long.
I think as a young pitcher, as we look at the camera, man, One of the toughest things to do is develop an off-speed pitch. Serrano tonight so far has thrown nothing but hard fastballs and hard breaking balls. I mean, 81 miles an hour is a hard slider. He's not throwing anything underneath that. In order to get people off your fastball, you have to throw something in the 75 mile an hour range, whether it's a changeup, a big curveball, at least planted in the back of the hitter's mind.
Against Vernon Wells. Ground ball toward short. Soriano throwing across to Calvin Pickering in time, and that'll do it for Team USA. The offensive struggles continue here on their home turf, Fenway Park in Boston. Still a 7-0 World Team lead.
When it comes to properly equipping your vehicle with the latest high-performance wheels and tires, it's important that you deal with the experts. Grand Prix Performance of Costa Mesa. For over 25 years, Grand Prix Performance has earned the trust of auto dealerships as well as individual customers with superior expertise and excellent service. Grand Prix Performance carries the largest selection of high-performance wheels and tires in Orange County, featuring Michelin, which offers the latest technology, value, and excellence in tire quality. Grand Prix Performance, 1718 Newport Boulevard in Costa Mesa.
Okay, Christine. One step at a time. That's it. Easy.
Tonight on ESPN, Baseball Tonight. Sunday Night Baseball as the Cubs cross town to take on the White Sox and the Late Sports Center. On ESPN2, today at the races, the Tour de France, RPM Tonight, AMA Motocross, plus ESPN2's Bottom Line. And on ESPN Classic, an all-day marathon of MLB All-Star Games with great moments from the past. Do you have all the ESPN networks?
We head to the top of the 6th inning. Brad Penny still on the mound for Team USA. They are down 7-0 though. Leading things off, Chin Feng Chin. 0 for 2 so far. Popped out to the catcher in the second, and a line out to center. But here he's got himself a base hit in the hole. So a single for Chin Feng Chin. Leading things off here, top of the 6th for the World Team.
Slider, third baseman really not reacting to the ball, was almost out there to him. That ball not hit that hard, and not really good reaction there. As you see, he makes 1 step, 2 steps, and a dive. But you also saw from the center field camera how the ball was really almost on its second hop. And that's something about reading the play. You have to be able to look right out in front of the bat, especially as a third baseman. You've got to look out in front of the bat. You cannot out in front of the plate. You cannot wait till the ball gets back to the catcher, because then that ball's already hit. Focus out in front of the plate, because that's where they're going to make contact when they hit it down there pulled.
Mid-high next up. First appearance for him. The Pittsburgh Pirates chain, .250 average so far for Hod this year. The runner at first. Leading things off here, 6th inning, a 7-inning game from Fenway.
We were talking about, how hard it was to give up a Brad Penny, but one of the things about the Diamondbacks, they've done a great job. They think that the John Patterson, who's in that group with Matt White and Bobby Say and Travis Lee, who are all made free agents because technicality in the draft, they think Patterson is every bit as good as Penny. They have the left-hander Nick Bierbrot in AAA that they think is the second coming of Jimmy Key. So they felt, okay, we can give up 1 out of the 3 to get a 26-year-old closer like Manton.
Broken bat base hit. Emid Holt has got himself a single into left field. And runners now 1st and 2nd here in the 6th. Again, the World Team in business.
Well, Peter, I agree with that, because they've gotten themselves in position to, as we look at the swing here, another breaking ball just kind of hanging there, then dropping over the middle of the plate. A lot of people think that balls down are good pitches. If they're down over the middle of the plate, they're still fat, especially breaking balls that start up, move over the middle of the plate down. It's still a very fat pitch. You got to stay out of the middle of the plate. going back to Arizona, I think that they have to. When you get yourself in position, obviously they spent the money. They've made the commitment to win.
Tomlinson, little cue shot toward third. To Dyer, good double play, steps on the bag and fires across to Pat Burrell. And they turn 2 here in the 6th.
And they make their commitment to win by going out and acquiring veteran players, and obviously Randy Johnson, Steve Finley, and Gonzalez. As we look at this right here, he just jammed really badly, pulls the bat barrel way in. Look how he drops his hands and kind of crunches up trying to hit that ball, and does hit it down the third base line. Third baseman makes a real good play. The ball kicks off the grass there, and Karum's in foul territory. He makes the play, though, as he catches the ball in fair territory.
Another pitching change for Team USA, down 7-0. We'll talk more about that when we return to Fenway Park in Boston.
FogDog.com, your anytime, anywhere sports store. Fog Dog.
Rejoice, citizens. The delicious Whippersnapple fruit smoothie is here. Your blender is now obsolete. One blender gets you one Whippersnapple fruit smoothie.
A blender! Hey!
6 tempting flavors, blended fruit juice, fruit puree, and other good stuff.
It's better this way.
Come, be like the others. Choose Whippersnapple today.
The best stuff is in here.
Golf Digest presents 50 ways to lower your score.
To get greater distance, turn your right foot out. For a better backswing, don't slide. Turn your hips instead.
Now, lower your score, drive longer, hit straighter, and play your best golf ever with the 50 new stroke-saving tips in every Golf Digest. Call now for your risk-free trial issue. If you like it, get 11 more issues, 12 in all, for just $19.97. Plus, get this stroke-saving video free.
Call 800-417-1200.
Absolute picture-perfect day, Fenway Park in Boston. Not so, unfortunately, for Team USA in our first ever All-Star Futures game. They're down 7-0 to the world side. A.J. Burnett, right-handed pitcher from the Portland Sea Dogs. That's AA Eastern League, Florida Marlins. He is from North Little Rock, Arkansas, 22 years old. Got the build and the big-time physique that the scouts are raving about, Peter.
He's a character, too. He could easily be in Green Day if he weren't playing baseball. But he's got electric stuff. He's one of the guys came over in the Al Leiter deal from the Mets. They think he has a tremendous upside. I mean, #1 starter, power stuff. The only thing is they worry a little bit. He seems to be a confidence guy. When he loses a little confidence, he'll get a little shy on the mound. They're just hoping he can overcome that.
Burnett pitching here to Yamid Hod on second base. And now Osuna.
And Ozuna is another guy. Of course, they're teammates in Portland, Maine, but he came over in the Renteria deal, and another guy with just tremendous upside. Dave Dombrowski is traded for so much talent. And Ozuna with Gonzalez, they think Ozuna is going to be a second baseman for a long time there. He's absolutely waterbug speed. You put those two guys together with Gonzalez, and well, the Marlins have a great deal of talent. Just hopefully they can find a stadium to play in.
Pablo Ozuna, 20 years old, from the Dominican Republic. Came to Florida in the Edgar Renteria trade over the winter. So drafted originally, or signed by the St. Louis Cardinals. Good offensive potential. Very high on him in Florida now. Things are certainly building down in Miami. It's going to take a while after taking apart that team, but improvement is on the way, I'm sure.
Well, I think the parts are there in a lot of places. I think that they rebuilt very fast. With, now they get Castillo, and then I still think Derek Lee's going to hit. Preston Wilson.
Pablo Ozuna is down on strikes from the Portland Sea Dogs. Struck out by his minor league teammate, A.J. Burnett.
Okay.
AA Eastern League teammates, but against each other here in Boston.
Dear Scott's mom, as you know, Scott loves baseball and is really looking forward to the All-Star game. All of his favorite players on the field, there's no game like it. He was even wondering if he could have a few buddies over to watch. What do you think? Scott's friend, Mike Piazza.
Yes.
Rejoice, citizens. The delicious whippersnapple fruit smoothie is here. Your blender is now obsolete. One blender gets you one whippersnapple fruit smoothie.
A blender they hate!
6 tempting flavors, blended fruit juice, fruit puree, and other good stuff.
It's better this way.
Come, be like the others. Choose whippersnapple today.
The best stuff is in here. Welcome back to Fenway Park. The World All-Stars are beating the U.S. side 7-0. There are plans at this point to have a World Cup as early as March in the year 2001 that would pit all professional players at all levels. A lot of discussions have to happen between now and then. Major League Baseball is very quietly undergoing those discussions. And sometime at the end of the year, they will meet with IBA officials, the International Baseball Association in Switzerland. They'll make recommendations, but quite possibly, there would be a World Cup with all professional players involved as early as March 2001, and more likely than not, it would happen in the U.S. Back to the booth.
Alvaro, thanks, Peter. Very interesting. And perhaps our format, Team USA against the world side, is just the beginning of good things to come.
Well, the Olympics work for basketball. They can't work for baseball because there's no time in the summer they can play. The best time to do it is have the World Cup in March. I think it's tremendous. World baseball is the future, and I think this would be a great idea. And I'll tell you, you line up those teams as Alvaro and I did today, there will be no cakewalk for the U.S. when they start lining up against those Dominicans and some of those young Dominican pitchers.
Ground out Adam Kennedy in the home 6 for Team USA. Rafael Furcal puts him away. We saw E.J. Toon from the Netherlands, who's now the third baseman for the world side. And Luke Prokopec is on the mound for the world team. Very briefly in from Australia. Not even a time, thanks to Luis Aparicio, to tell his story. We'll talk more about that and the rest of the world side with a big 7-0 lead when we come back to Fenway Park in Boston right after this.
FogDog.com, your anytime, anywhere sports store.
Lance Berkman with one down will be the hitter for Team USA against the brand new pitcher for the world squad. It's J.C. Romero, left-hander from the New Britain Rockcats, AA Eastern League affiliate of the Minnesota Twins. Berkman so far is 0 for 2. He struck out swinging back in the first and the line out right back to the mound in the fourth.
Well, Romero is kind of a Ricardo Rincon clone. He's got a slidering throw for strikes, which means he can pitch till he's 52 because he's left-handed. But sorry, he's from Puerto Rico, but he went to college at the University of Mobile. And because Puerto Rico does not have a team in the Pan Am Games, he's on the international squad here, but he's on the U.S. team in the Pan Am Games, and they're actually hoping they can use him a little bit as their closer in that tournament.
Berkman, bouncer toward E.J. Toon at third base, and the easy throw to Pickering in time for the second out here in the sixth.
Number 5, the first baseman, Pat
Romero's
Burrell.
been murder against lefties as well. He's been very effective. The first 46 at bats against lefties this year, a 196 average. Burrow hitting from the right side, but he's dangerous. J.C. Romero, according to a lot of scouts, may be up in Minnesota pretty soon.
Well, when I managed, we were looking for left-handers all over the place, and there was a lot of recycled people that we looked at. But today I've already seen 4 left-handed arms that were better than anything I looked at in spring training back in 1996 and 97. So there's some fine young arms coming. I really like this guy. He's got a very quick arm, and that hard breaking ball is something that you don't pick up as a right-handed hitter, certainly not a left-handed hitter, when you think it's a fastball.
Tapper towards second for Call. Will toss out Pat Burrow with ease. And that'll do it for Team USA again here in the 6th. They are down in order. 1, 2, 3, and still in a lot of trouble, down 7-0 in this first ever All-Star Futures game. This is how it looked if you're Pat Burrow with a helmet cam. Digging toward first there, Pat. Don't make it.
Still trying to make the major leagues? Log on to MajorLeagueBaseball.com to reach the major leagues every day. Video highlights on demand, live game audio. Make the moves in MLB's official online fantasy game. Grab the latest All-Star game gear at the official store. MajorLeagueBaseball.com lets you be a part of the major leagues, and it may even help your game.
FogDog.com, your anytime, anywhere sports store. Fog Dog.
Hi. At Snapple, we know the pressures facing young fruit today. How easy it is to go bad, start hanging with the bad crowd, mixing with preservatives. That's why here at Snapple, we've created a place where good fruit can come to get even better, to learn skills, to interact with other fruit they would never meet on the outside. Snapple and fruit, making the best of it together. The best stuff is in here.
In our 7-inning game format, the first ever All-Star Futures game from Fenway Park. The damage done by the world side in the 3rd and 4th innings. 7 runs combined put in, including a couple of homers from a guy who should be our first ever Futures Game All-Star MVP, Alfonso Soriano. 2 home runs, 5 RBIs for him. And B.J. Ryan now on the mound for Team USA from the Indianapolis Indians, AAA affiliate, International League of the Cincinnati Reds. And Peter, you're high on this guy as well.
Well, the Reds really like him. I mean, he's in his first full professional season. He's already in AAA. He was a guy signed after his senior year at Southwest Louisiana, but he's a left-hander with a pretty good arm and a pretty good breaking ball. The way Jim Bowden looks at it, he expects he's going to get Eddie Nagel back by 1st of August, but he still needs 2 starters. If he can't trade for a starter, he may end up having to put Reyes in the rotation, and if he did, then Ryan would probably come up to give him the 3 left-handers out of the bullpen.
Here's E.J. Toon, third baseman from the Edmonton Trappers, AAA Pacific Coast League affiliate of the Anaheim Angels, from Affen aan den Rijn in the Netherlands, and he's gone. So E.J. Toon, who started playing baseball at the age of 5 in the Netherlands, went to a T-ball game his mom took him to, and he said he was hooked from then on. No one else played baseball in his neighborhood. 7-0 world team lead.
Are we playing with a 10-man lineup now? They just hit Furcal, then Toon, and now Soriano. There's
we've got a strange order going right now. Soriano should be in the 2-hole for the world team.
I decided to drop him to the 3-hole after 2 home.
I'll tell you, this guy is so good. He can hit anywhere he wants.
Oh. You know, regardless of where he's hitting, he's had a tremendous afternoon here at Fenway Park. One he'll remember for a lifetime on his, what now looks like a very quick trip up to the major league level. Soriano draws a walk. The shortstop has been unbelievable. 3rd inning. Forget about it. And a home run deep into the screen in left field. That was a 3-run shot. Got the world team going. In the 4th, he did it again. This time, a 2-run home run. Also to left center field. Also into the screen here at Fenway Park. Now he's earned himself a base on balls. And someone who can hit the ball a long way here, Peter, as well, is Calvin Pickering from the Rochester Red Wings.
He's disappointed a little bit. I mean, but I think he had such expectation. He came up in September last year. Then they signed Will Clark for 2 years, and he thought, well, my path is blocked. But this guy has got big-time Camden Yards power because he can hit the ball out to right center and left center. We all know it's like 357. It's not what they put up on the board. It's 357 to left center field. And what really has impressed me from what I've seen of this guy is that for a big man, he's got very light feet. He's very quick on his feet, which I think in time defensively will obviously help him. But I think offensively as a hitter, I've always believed everything starts with the feet.
Pickering, 6'5", 265 pounds from St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands, 22 years old, and then weight had been a big issue with him, Peter. He's up in the 285 range at one point of his career. But says it hasn't been a problem for the last couple of years. He's kept slimmed down in the 260 range. That's a big man out there.
He's a huge man. I mean, he's always compared to Mo Vaughn because of the size. I think they are comparable, again, because of the feet.
We'll go back to the World Team dugout after looking at that called third strike. Good location from B.J. Ryan, 6'6" lefty from Bossier City, Louisiana, Indianapolis Indians, and he'll be done with a pitching change as well. We'll have more coming up from Fenway Park. World Team, despite the strikeout from Pickering, still has a 7-0 lead.
I invested in the Associate's Degree program at ITT Technical Institute for a career in computer-aided drafting. The skills I received at ITT Tech gave me the basics I needed to succeed. I've had 3 promotions in just 3 years, and I'm now a project engineer. The name ITT Tech was a big factor. I really love my position and the responsibilities that go with it. Thanks, ITT.
ITT Technical Institute, 1-800-942-0099.
You know, ideas and inventions come from people in all walks of life. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? If so, Invention Submission Corporation has information to help you get started. ISC is America's largest inventor service firm. Call now and learn how to submit your idea to companies through ISC's databank and apply for a patent. Even if your idea is just to improve an existing product, call for ISC's free information.
For your inventor's information, call 1-800-652-0101.
Godfrey Tomlinson.
Boston electrified by baseball fever as All-Star Weekend is upon the hub. And a brand new pitcher once again out there for Team USA. It's Matt Riley from the Bowie Bay Sox, AA affiliate of the Baltimore Orioles. And Godfrey with a quick ground out to end things as Tomlinson taps that one towards second. Good effort made by Riley right in out of the dugout, and he's got to make a play as Tomlinson bounces out. Still the World Team, despite that ground out, in great shape. A 7-0 lead, middle of the 7th.
What sets some people apart gives them the confidence to succeed on their own terms. It's no secret, it's the Wall Street Journal. Now you can have that confidence delivered for 13 weeks at just $36.75, just 57 cents a day. That's a 25% savings off our regular rate, which makes now a great time to try this limited time offer. Call now, 800-248-1300. That's 800-248-1300 for the Wall Street Journal.
Welcome back to the first annual Futures All-Star Game. It's 7-0 World Team against Team USA. Now, I don't want to put it all on the guy with the best batting average on Team USA or the guy who led the nation in hitting as a freshman with Miami in 1996, but 3 hits, Pat Burrell. What's up?
I don't know. We came out. We just didn't swing the bat too well today. They got some great pitchers. But, more importantly, we all had a good time. We came out here, and it's just a fun experience for everybody.
You were the #1 overall pick in the draft in 1998. What's the biggest difference between college baseball and pro baseball?
Well, I think the biggest difference is the bat for me. Playing every day as opposed to playing 3 games a week and no school.
All right. You always got the bottom of the 7th. Maybe you can put 8 runs up. Hey, guys, let's go back upstairs.
All right, Stuart. And thanks very much to Pat Burrell as well. We go back to Double-A Reading on his way to Philadelphia Veterans Stadium. What a year Pat Burrell's had in Double-A ball. Last licks now for USA in our 7-inning format. Francisco Cordero from the Jacksonville Suns, Double-A Southern League affiliate of the Detroit Tigers, now on the mound for the World Team, facing Nick Johnson. Nick Johnson 1 for 2 so far. Grounded right back to the pitcher in the second. Infield single in the fourth.
Cordero was made a closer after fracturing his elbow when he was a starter. He has got huge closer stuff. Now, the question has always been his makeup, but you look at that Tiger staff over the years, now that they have Weaver and they've got Moeller and Thompson and they have Matt Anderson, who's back in AAA straight gun. With Cordero, they have the makings of a real power staff.
Started the first 3 years of his pro career, Peter Cordero was, and a closer in 1997. And he has got some serious gas as he strikes out Nick Johnson. Let's go back to Alvaro Martin with a special guest.
Yes, indeed. It's Tony Armas Jr., towering Tony. Tony, you spent your formative year from age 1 to 10 right here in Boston. You must have been thinking a lot about your dad today.
Yeah. A lot of people reminded me of him, and it's kind of neat coming back where he played, and, and it's cool to be back, I mean, it's great, and hope he'll come someday back,
He allowed a double in the third. I can tell you he wanted to be like his dad, but he couldn't bat as well, so he turned to be a pitcher, and quite a good one at that. Back to the booth.
All right, gentlemen, thanks. And a bright future certainly on the horizon for Tony Armas Jr. Big round of applause for him when he was introduced before the huge crowd at Fenway, which has dissipated a bit now. Kadire is gone looking as well, so Johnson and Michael Kadire both going down by the strikeout route against the flame-throwing Francisco Cordero here in the 7th inning. So we've had quite a day here, Peter Gammons. Really a great step for baseball.
It really is. I mean, I've always thought that we should be looking at what is coming in the game and the great young players. But when you see Alfonso Soriano play, you realize why the Yankees are saying, we don't care where he plays, we're just not going to let him go. We'll figure out something to do with him.
And Ray Knight, we've seen some amazing talent here on display. Anyone really stick out with you?
Well, Serrano and all the left-handed pitching that I've seen, I mean, there's such a shortage of left-handed pitchers, especially left-handers that can throw hard, breaking balls that have some bite around the plate. There's so many people in the big leagues now, left-handed pitchers that just hang on, and I've been really impressed with the left-handed arms.
This is a nice treat for the hitter here, Peter Bergeron. He's from Greenfield, Massachusetts. Great prospect in the Expos organization. He couldn't play today because he's had a little shoulder problem, but he's on the Pan Am team as well, and he's often been compared to Steve Finley, a terrific prospect. They have two great young center fielders in Double-A, and Milton Bradley and Peter Bergeron, both of whom are playing for Team USA.
Foul back by Bergeron. Seen some time with the Ottawa Lynx, the AAA affiliate of the Expos. 4th round pick back in '96.
Well, I don't think Cordero's having any problems with his elbow right now. He's throwing the ball 95, 96 with a lot of movement.
Bergeron works out a walk to barely keep the USA hopes alive. They're still down by 7 with 2 down in the 7th. Just 3 base hits, as Stuart Scott said a few moments ago, for Team USA against the bevy of pretty talented arms from the world side. Well, tune in tomorrow night on ESPN for an All-Star Major League Baseball special. Starting at 7:30, it's baseball tonight. Then 8 o'clock Eastern, the Century 21 Home Run Derby. Sammy Sosa will be featured. 10 o'clock, we've got the All-Star Celebrity Hitting Challenge with Matt Damon, Kevin Costner. Then at midnight, back to baseball tonight, wrapping up the day's festivities during the All-Star Gala. That is live tomorrow night. Fouled straight back. Look out if you're home plate umpire Don January. Go the entire game without any kind of incident, then 2 outs, 2 strikes, and he takes one for the team. entire umpiring crew from the ECAC, college umpires from here in the greater Boston area.
Don January was a legend in the Boston Park League. He hit there for almost 20 years he played in that semi-pro league. And I mean semi-pro, that means about 50 cents a game.
Not exactly the big bucks they're playing for now, huh? First run at first base. Germani unable to catch up with the gas as Cordero knocks down the USA team in the 7th, striking out the side, and that'll do it for the first ever All-Star Futures game. A 7-0 final score. Coming up next, today at the races. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com. For the entire crew, this is Dave Ryan saying so long from Boston.